Wesley Chapel and the Brandon Riverview area are two of our big boy suburbs, and in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down each of these popular areas to help you understand which area might fit your family's lifestyle the best. If you're searching where to live in Tampa, Florida, stay tuned because I'm jumping into it right now. Welcome if you are new to me and new to my channel. I'm Morejon, and I make videos all about what it's like living in Tampa, Florida, covering the best neighborhoods and top things to do so you can get a real feel for what it's like living here. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button and ring that little bell because we have a ton of great content to share with you and you won't want to miss it. And if you're thinking of moving to Tampa, Florida, I am a licensed realtor, so see that number on the screen? Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email because my team and I would love to help you find the perfect home for you and your family. If you haven't noticed by now, in most of my videos, I try to showcase specific areas or go in depth to give you a real feel for what it's like living in an area and what's nearby, because figuring out which area fits your lifestyle is the key to it all. Being that Wesley Chapel and Brandon are two of the most popular areas, and one being in the northern suburbs and the other being in the southeastern suburbs, it just makes sense to make a north versus south video.
Are you ready?
That goes in the file.
Are you ready? Let's get it on!
No, not that kind. I mean a pros and cons of each area so you can figure out which is the best for you. Funny thing is, while both of these areas have differences, folks moving here tend to always want to compare them and at times have a hard time figuring out which is best for them. So I'm gonna go through in depth of each area, then wrap things up with a good old tale of the tape. So without further ado,
let's get ready to rumble!
I like sayings as much as the next guy, but we will pass on age before beauty. And let's just kick things off with the new shiny object, Wesley Chapel, Florida. This area has everything going on for it right now. It reminds me a little of the Brandon Riverview area in its heyday, but there are some clear differences. See, back in 2003, the Brandon Riverview area expected a population growth of around 50% spread over the next 20 years. But by 2010, only 7 years later, the population spiked to almost 500%. That same attention is what we're seeing today in Wesley Chapel, but the difference is that it feels more planned. See, Wesley Chapel is attracting people not just because of its housing, but because it offers all of the amenities of the city, but with a suburb vibe. It's loaded with some of the best master plan communities like Wiregrass Ranch, Epperson with the first man-made crystal lagoon in the country, and new communities like Taylor Morrison's River Edge and River's Landing, or GL Homes, which has Winding Ridge. The amount of communities that Wesley Chapel has spit out in such a short time period is pretty impressive. And as a realtor servicing this area, it's exciting because there are a ton of different builders and developers all pitching in to create what I would confidently say is a top suburb. While many of these master plan communities do feel to have a focus on families with kids, there is a nice variety of townhome living, 55 plus communities, and luxury living all just mixed in. I would honestly say it's one of the most complete suburbs near Tampa. So what's it like living in Wesley Chapel, and why would one choose to live there? Well, for starters, it's located right off of I-75, just 30 minutes from downtown Tampa. If you need to get into the city, it's easy commute, but like I said, Wesley Chapel has it all, so you may not need to leave. As far as shopping, dining, entertainment, you're pretty covered there too. Aside from the grocery stores and strip malls sporadically spread throughout the major roadways, there are 3 main hubs, which include the Wiregrass Mall, the Tampa Premium Outlets, and the Grove. The Tampa Premium Outlets and the Wiregrass Mall are located off the interstate on Highway 56, which is the southernmost exit for Wesley Chapel. Both of these developments attract people from all over with some of the best shopping. I like to go to the outlets to save on my Nikes, but I have to go without my daughters because it's like there's sharks with blood in the water. They can smell the Disney store, and I mean, I'll leave broke. But seriously, these areas have everything from Saks Fifth Avenue to Crocs, so just about anything your little shopping heart desires. Now, shopping isn't all though. They have some pretty good restaurants here too, so if you're down for the happy hour type, or let's find a place or a date night, you might want to start with the Wiregrass Mall as an option. Now, if these two places don't have what you're looking for, make your way over to the Grove, which is located just north of the second exit at Highway 54. Here you'll find everything from the big box stores like Best Buy and Bed Bath & Beyond to smaller village type shops like a barbershop or a painting studio. Then if you work up an appetite, there's a nice selection of options to choose from, including an Italian bistro and a brewery. And you know I like a cold one.
Beer. Did you hear that, Marge?
To get a more in-depth look at these neighborhoods and entertainment options, make your way over to my channel, as I have covered these areas in depth and with videos like these. And please share your comments with us, as we love to hear your thoughts. Now in that last section, I mentioned there being 2 exits off the interstate at Highway 56 and Highway 54. Well, there's another one in the works which makes getting around Wesley Chapel that much easier. Sometime soon in 2022, we're hoping to see the opening of the 3rd exit at Overpass Road. Now this exit is just north of Highway 54 and connects the Epperson area. This is huge if you decide to live in any of the northern communities, as it will shave off close to probably 10 minutes because you won't have to take the back roads like you do now. And by the way, that Epperson community, it's pretty amazing. It's shooting for the title of being a new innovative community. Not only does it have the first 7-acre crystal lagoon in the country, but it also has solar streetlights, golf cart paths, trails and parks, ultra-fi Wi-Fi, which gives the entire community lightning fast Wi-Fi, inside and outside the home. On top of that, a new charter school, InPrep or Innovation Preparatory School, will be opening in the community for grades K through 8. The exit off of Overpass Road will be a game changer for anyone living in Epperson or the surrounding communities. InPrep is not the only school that catches attention, however. Wesley Chapel is flooded with A and B rated schools and is in line with the other Pasco County suburbs for having great schools just overall. While I always suggest touring specific schools, if it is a priority to you, you can also head over to niche.com or greatschools.org to just read the reviews and ratings. So Wesley Chapel sounds pretty great, right? Well, let me take you back to the beginning, where I always say you need to match where you live with your lifestyle. It's not for everybody, and let me give you a few reasons why it's not. For starters, it's a popular area, and this in itself brings issues. For starters, the traffic. With nearly 70,000 residents and the Tampa area being a commuter area, there's tons of traffic around the busy times of day. I-75 is also a big interstate, and at both exits, it's where the shopping and entertainment options are. So, located there, they attract even more people, so it does tend to get busy driving around Wesley Chapel at times. The area is also a great medical hub with Advent Health Hospital and a plethora of urgent cares, which is a pro, but again, more people commuting for work, etc., So if you travel and need access to the airport, well, it's located on the other side of the city, so you have to cross all of Tampa to get there. And same goes for the beaches if that's your jam. Most people move to Tampa for access to the beaches, but this will add some time to your day trip. Now from Wesley Chapel, it's an easy hour to get to the beaches, which in all honesty is not that bad, but if you are hoping to live close to the beach, this doesn't necessarily match your lifestyle. And with all of its popularity, home prices have steadily increased as well. So if you're interested in new construction, you'll find 3-bedroom townhomes starting in the mid $300s, and most single families homes, they start closer to the mid $400,000 range, and then they start going up from there. If I had to guess, most people that are interested in living in the suburbs have Wesley Chapel on their list, but what about that Brandon Riverview area? Now I started this video mentioning the Brandon Riverview area absolutely exploding in the early 2000s and how it actually grew by more than 10 times the expected population growth. Much of that was due to the location, affordability, and the amount of new construction that went on in the area. Current day, you'll still find that new construction in Brandon and Riverview, but the trend has now expanded south into the nearby areas. Each area to the southeast of Tampa has its own personality, but you may not realize you cross boundary lines as much as the other area kind of blends in together with the other one. The southeastern suburbs are very popular with military families, professionals, or truly anyone that wants to live near the city but not in the city and just needs easy access. The Selman Expressway makes it a breeze to get into downtown, so it's also very popular with families or first-time homebuyers, as you can really stretch your dollar compared to some of the other suburbs, and there are some really nice value buys there as well. Now, I'm not saying that there's not luxury homes, but typically your dollar does go a tad further in some of these areas, and there may be, a few more options in that arena. In the area, there's also state parks, biking trails, access to boating and shopping, and just about anything you need, it's nearby. Being located off of several highways also allows you to travel in multiple directions, visiting the nearby cities. The biggest negative, unfortunately, may be the traffic and infrastructure. The population growth has constantly outpaced expectations, and some areas can get very congested at times. Knowing the local traffic patterns and alternate routes, that'll help you out if you live here. And while there is access to highways and interstates, it's not too much of a city vibe. There are a lot of strip malls lining the roads, and while they offer shopping and restaurant options, most of it does consist of chain stores, etc. And I always like to look at the bright side of things, and Brandon has recently added some nice things to do and attractions in the area, so please don't take it as it's all negative. There are definitely some bright spots here. In addition to being a more affordable option and located just 25 to 35 minutes out of downtown, here are a few things to do in the area. The Brandon Riverview area has some added nice standout attractions within just 10 to 20 minute drive. So one of the newest and most popular has to be Topgolf. If you have never been, you don't have to be an avid golfer. It's more of a place to go with friends and coworkers to unwind and have a good time. And if you want to give it a go, you pick your level or balcony and get to hit the golf balls at different targets to rack up the points. All the while, there are a full bar for adult beverages and a menu with great food options. If you'd rather be on the course, well, there are a load of golf courses in the area with a nice variety of styles from open fairways to courses with a bunch of hazards. You can grab a cold one at the clubhouse, or you can make your way over to the Bootleggers Brewing Company, which is the local brewery, and try out a local craft beer. For shopping or dining options, the Brandon Mall has been a local staple with like 150 stores and more than 25 food vendors. If you have kids, bounce your way over to the Sky Zone trampoline park to burn off some energy, and if you'd rather fly than jump, the whole family can have fun at iFly. iFly is an indoor skydiving facility where you can get the experience of skydiving without having to jump out of a plane. So I actually went with my family, and my mother is well into her 60s, and she did it as well as my daughter that was only 5 years old at the time. So it is truly for everyone. The Brandon Riverview area has everything from escape rooms to painting with a twist, and you'll find grocery stores and medical facilities within an easy drive just about anywhere. And if you find yourself liking the southeastern suburbs, but Brandon or Riverview really hasn't met what you're looking for, make sure to check out communities like Waterset by the developer Newland in the Apollo Beach area, as it's a great option and only about halfway through being built with around 25 homes still left to be built. If school zones are important to you, a lot of people tend to gravitate towards the Fishhawk area, which has amazing schools like Newsom High School and Beavis Elementary. Now, not all of these areas are for everyone, but my mom always used to say there is a lid for every pot. So make sure to explore a little, and as I always preach in my other videos, focus on finding what area matches your lifestyle best. If you're seeing what you like in Wesley Chapel and living to the north of Tampa, yet Wesley Chapel doesn't feel like your jam, make your way west down Highway 54 and check out Land O'Lakes, Lutz, and Odessa. I shot videos like these covering all of these areas to give you a good feel for actually what it's like living there. So I hope this video gave you some insight into the areas of Wesley Chapel and the Brandon Riverview areas, and it helped you understand what each of these areas are like. Both areas are thriving, and for good reason. And if you're moving to the Tampa area and want help finding the right area for your family, see that number on the screen? Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, because my team and I would love to help you and your family find your next home. Until that next video, I'll catch you later.